The game I chose to analyze is Worm Clan Wars. It has a single player mode, but it is mostly an online game where you play with your team of worms against another player and their team of worms. The tutorial level does a very good job of showing the users how to play the game with these pop-up messages of how to jump and move left and right, as you see here at the top. Another good user interface is the health above the worms and the names. You can always tell how much health a worm has left just by looking at the numbers above. You can also see the health totals down at the bottom left with the health bars that move when you take damage. Another good part is on the bottom right, you can see whether it is daytime and night. However, that isn't very useful, but when you use things like rockets, the wind will appear at the bottom there, and it can have a great effect on how well the rockets perform. The state game does a very good job with the UI because everything is very simple and basic, and it doesn't limit the player's ability. Whatever they want to do, they can find very easily. Well, just by looking at the screen, they can see how well they are doing, how well their opponents are doing, and all the different things that they need to have success in the game. One of the cons of the game is the weapon select menu. This menu, all the icons are just all lined up, grouped together. It's very hard to figure out what each weapon is just by looking at the icon sometimes. So you have to mouse over, and it takes a second or two for the text to pop up. In single player, this isn't that big of a problem, but in multiplayer, it is timed, so you have to go very quick and select your weapon. Because of this, you end up relying on recall rather than recognition because you're going so quick, and it makes it very hard to select the weapon you want in the appropriate amount of time. The only use of diegetic interface in this game is the damage on the worms. As a worm takes more and more damage and gets lower health, it shows on their body, whether it be black eyes or band-aids. As you can see on the main character here with the black eye and the band-aids on them, as they take more damage, this becomes more prevalent. This works very good in the game because it just adds a little extra um, information to the player so they don't have to always look at their health. They can look at the worm itself to see how damaged it is. There isn't, because this is a simple little system, there isn't really a con to it. Because that is the only diegetic thing in the game, everything else is non-diegetic. However, they still do a very good job with this because I think they have a very good balance. Being a very simple game, you don't need very many things in the game world, and just having the simple user interface laid over the screen gives all the information and all the tools that the players need to have a fun, enjoyable experience.